Welcome. This is the 8th grade Unit 2 Content Professional Development Screencast, a pre-recorded setting of the meeting that will happen on September 11th from Kara Gilman and Sarah Luanga, staff developers in the district. Feel free to email us anytime with questions or concerns about this content or any other meeting content that we're building this school year. If you're doing this screencast as a group, there'll be times where I'll tell you to pause, reflect, and discuss. And you can do that as often as you like on your own too. If you're watching this alone, maybe find a buddy to discuss the things that we say here in the video so that you'll have somebody to talk to. Our central questions, our goals for this content is to talk about what content is taught in Unit 2 of the 8th grade mathematics course and how can I plan effective instruction for my students to learn this content. So if you'll go to the 8th grade math Unit 2 page on Haiku, you're going to read the following documents: the content standards for the unit, the sample unit assessment, and the scoring rubric, if you would like to do so, that talks about coding. And what you're going to do in this activity is highlight and look at what things are being taught and what is not being taught. Take a moment to do that. Alright, now that you've looked at those standards and in the assessment, you may have noticed a few things, and hopefully you've talked about them in your group. One thing we wanted to highlight about the shift that's happening with Common Core is that we see that these geometry concepts, congruence, similarity, and transformations are now earlier in the curriculum. They used to be with the 97s in the high school geometry section, and now they have moved their way into the 8th grade content. The content for this session will focus on two areas and two instructional strategies: using visual representations to understand conceptually the mathematics that's going on, and we're going to do that from the sum of an interior angles of a triangle lesson. And then we're also going to experience a discovery lesson in which we're going to work on parallel lines cut by transversal. So now we're going to start with that visual representation. So I like to call it a magic trick. So get yourself a colored sheet of paper, cut it into a triangle, any type of triangle you like, an isosceles, equilateral, a right triangle, and label the angles A, B, and C on both sides. And once you've done that, if you need to pause the video at any time, go ahead and feel free to. Once you've done that, now you're going to fold vertex B so that it intersects with segment AC and creates a parallel line to AC. Then fold vertex A and C to coincide with B. And once you've done that, kind of take a gander at what sort of observations you may have seen. I'm going to click on this link to GeoGebra, and it's going to take us to see what you may have already seen. So once you click on that GeoGebra app, it takes you to this interactive homework assignment. So if you've noticed, the instructions are here at the top, and down below here are the assignment for the students. And what you would do is teach them to create any size triangle they like, any size they want, and then once they use these sliders up over here to the left, they can see how those angles then are flipped and maneuvered so that it creates a vertical line, a straight line here. So those three angles do add up to make 180. And so students, this is part of an assignment, a lesson within the Unit 2 template that you can use with your students. So through the cutting exercise, or through the manipulating exercise with the paper, and also through GeoGebra, students are able to visually see that those three angles of a triangle do form a straight line and make and add up to be 180 degrees. Alright, now it's time to work with parallel lines cut by a transversal. With parallel lines cut by a transversal, I just want to make this kind of known that this activity comes with a little bit background on just more into the unit. It's during the second week of the unit where students have already spent some time working with the verbiage transversal, parallel lines, supplementary angles, congruent angles, and transformations themselves they've been working with for 4 weeks now in the curriculum, so they feel a little bit comfortable with transformations. These discovery activities can be done sooner. I just wanted to make sure that with such a language heavy lesson, I want you to know that they do have that background knowledge. And so what this activity entails is discovering angles of parallel lines relationships. So with each set of parallel lines cut by a transversal, in the activity that we do for the professional development, we're going to provide each person with a set of parallel lines that are cut by a transversal, and they are supposed to classify and label the angles as congruent, supplementary, or no relationship using transformations. And so, and also explain your reason for classification. If you're watching this on this screencast, there is a link where you found the screencast to this document that you can print out that will give you those parallel lines as well. And in our professional development and in the classroom, you want to give students time to kind of really work with these and label the angles and spend time finding those transformations that figure out if they're congruent, they add up to 180, or if there's no relationship whatsoever with them. At the tail end of that, we're going to apply naming the angles. So give a name to the pair of angles. Use these words on your own, corresponding interior, exterior, or alternate, or same side. This gives students a chance to try and determine the names and realize that those names to those angles, those special pairs, do have specific meanings. As we end with each content PD, we have our reflection. And so out of the activities that you did today, what areas of rigor did you see in today's activities? What types of tasks were conceptual understanding? What were procedural fluency? What were application and problem solving? And which SMPs, the Standards for Mathematical Practice, were in our lesson? Now we've come to the tail end of this. I hope that those two activities on visualizing mathematics and discovery have helped you to kind of understand some of the topics that are in this unit for haiku. For more resources and to see these lessons in action, spend time working in haiku. There are lessons for many of the standards, and these two particular activities that we did, one with the visualizing, is on the lesson called Interior and Exterior Angles of a Triangle, and the discovery activity is on Special Pairs Investigation Discovery. Thank you so much and have a good day.